Hello and welcome back to another Benchwarmers episode. We're now talking about the Super Bowl as that has happened over the weekend. Obviously, major upset for everyone living in Kansas City because, the Chiefs lost. Praise the Lord. And the Eagles won. We love seeing teams like the Eagles win. I think the Eagles are an exciting team. And, I think as a whole, the event was just an exciting thing to watch. And obviously, the two most influential white people were there as well. Obviously, one being Donald Trump and the second one being Cooper DeJean on the Eagles. So, I want to start it off right, Harrison, because I know you're joining me today again, as always, as usual. Mahomes, right? Bit of a disappointment, isn't he?
Yeah, slightly. I don't think, I think his performance was a bit of an overreaction from a lot of fans, because he's never usually that bad, is he, Matt? But overall in that one game, he was terrible. I think he got sacked 6 times. I'm pretty sure that's the term. Every ball he was trying to throw, just nothing was going for him in that game, was it, Matt? It was really disappointing to see, and that's probably one of the reasons why the Chiefs didn't win.
Was it disappointing to see?
Yeah.
I think it was quite good to see.
They could have got their three-peat title.
I don't think
they could have done the three-peat.
I don't think anyone other than Chiefs fan wanted them to three-peat.
Come on, that's a historic stat you could have got. You could have been one of the first teams to do it potentially in a long time at least.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Come on,
they didn't. I mean, what? I think the end of the game stats, right? Travis Kelce, obviously, that's who we're talking about. He had 0 catches for the first half. Nothing. He didn't catch anything. And Mahomes, I think it was second quarter, he was sacked 2 or 3 times. So he was already having a bad game, and then he got sacked later on in the game. And I think that's all credit to the Eagles' defense. And I just mentioned in the intro as well, Cooper DeJean being one of the most influential people on that field. And he was.
I didn't know where you was going with that intro. That intro was a bit weird from you.
It was a bit weird, but, we experiment here. But, obviously, everyone who knows who Cooper DeJean is, he's the Eagles' quarterback, not a safety. He's a bit of a weird one. He plays in weird positions, but completely outperformed most people on that team. He got a pick 6, I think, in the second or the first quarter.
Yeah.
Run it for a touchdown. Obviously, on his birthday as well. He's won the Super Bowl on his birthday and got a pick 6. So
what a great day for him to celebrate.
Big day for him. I wouldn't complain, to be fair.
Could you imagine having that on his birthday? That is one.
I think it was Saquon Barkley's birthday as well.
There's 2 birthdays on that one day.
Yeah, on the same day.
Bloody hell. Okay, I think that's probably the best birthday present you could ever have, if you're an NFL player.
Yeah, winning a Super Bowl.
Anyways, Matt, carry on. Sorry, after that little interruption.
But yeah, no, I was just talking about Eagles' defense. They shut Mahomes off the entire game. I mean, we all saw the sacks, right? I know you saw the sacks, and then there was videos on TikTok and Instagram as well where the Eagles' defense, I think there's one video which I think everyone will recognise. The Eagles' defense swatted the ball out of Mahomes' hands, and then another guy just shoved him in the face and pushed him over. Beautiful sight, by the way. I love seeing those kind of tackles, and like Mahomes especially just get absolutely floored.
Okay, so that brings me on to a question then. Is Mahomes as good as everybody thinks he is? Or is he not as good as everybody thinks he is? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, is he a little bit overrated? Or
yes, I'd say he is a bit overrated. I know people can say, oh, your opinion's rubbish, you don't actually watch the sport, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But that performance doesn't scream second best quarterback of all time to me. He looked nowhere that entire game. He was lost. Arguably his defense and his offensive line nowhere near him. I mean, he did a few little runs here and there, and tried to do something. But in the end, he was kind of useless until he threw 2 touchdown passes. But even then, that was kind of useless at the end. He's a weird quarterback for me. I feel like in the regular season, right, he doesn't show up either. He's not.
That's a bit harsh. Come on.
No, you didn't watch it. You didn't watch the season.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, though.
Yeah,
he's one of the most noticeable faces as well in the NFL. When you talk about the NFL, you talk about Patrick Mahomes. No? Yes, you do.
He's
the face of the NFL.
I wouldn't say he is, though. I would say he's one of 3 faces of the NFL. Actually, I wouldn't even say that. I'd say Joe Burrow is above him. I'd say Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are probably on terms with them.
Okay, but if you asked a non-NFL fan, right, about...
So if you just asked someone from the UK?
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't know the other two. They'll know Lamar Jackson and that's it.
They'd know Josh Allen.
I don't think they would.
I think they would.
I don't think they would.
I think anyone who knows who Haley Steinfeld is knows who Josh Allen is.
Maybe, but again, it's like one of those names you'd hear, but then you probably forget about because he's not one of the high-profile players just yet, is he? He's very good. He's had a good season, but I don't think he's up there with Mahomes, with Lamar Jackson either.
I wouldn't agree with you, but
Okay.
that's just me.
Okay.
But speaking of quarterbacks who are probably more well known, Jalen Hurts, right? I reckon this Super Bowl performance has put him up there as probably one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, most definitely. He was fantastic that entire game. Everything that the Philadelphia Eagles did ran through him, and they did it perfectly well, didn't they? There was no stopping Jalen Hurts in that game. Even when like Barkley was sort of out, not having a great game, he sort of stepped up, didn't he? And sort of helped the team win, really, realistically.
Like you were saying, Barkley was completely shut off from that game. I think the Chiefs' game plan going into that is just stop Barkley from running. We don't really care what the others do because I think they kind of went into that game underestimating the Eagles.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts stepped up, proved why he won that Super Bowl MVP, I mean. And he threw some brilliant passes for touchdowns. He did some good runs as well, getting good yardage. I think he got 221 passing yards that game. Yeah. So pretty decent stats. And I think a lot of people went into that game underestimating Hurts, and I think he's shown why he is that good. Because I think it was only 2 years ago the Eagles faced the Chiefs in 22, actually 23, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was before Saquon Barkley helped them. So it was literally only Jalen Hurts who brought them to the Super Bowl then. So he is a good quarterback, and I think give him time. And I think this Eagles team going into the next season with Hurts leading, I reckon they can probably get into the Super Bowl again.
Do you think they can win it again?
I think they could.
Yeah.
Like realistically.
Okay. Might be a little bit too early to say, of course.
Obviously, it's too early to say. But
trades and whatnot happening, but potentially, if they keep their best players, then I don't know why not. Maybe they could be on the next three-peat. Maybe they could build a next dynasty potentially and be like one of the super teams in the sport.
I'd like to see that. To be fair, I'd rather have an Eagles dynasty than a Chiefs one because for one reason.
There we go.
I think their fans are better. Have you seen the videos?
Okay.
Have you seen the videos of the Philly fans in Philadelphia?
I know one Philly fan, but it's not the guy you're talking about, is it?
No, I don't know if you've seen any videos, right?
No.
But like, there's a bunch of memes going around on the internet. It's like every time Philly either wins or loses, the city burns to the ground because there's like rioting or like massive celebrations that just destroys everything.
Right.
And this weekend like proved it because they won. And then you just saw footage of Philadelphia. They were ripping off lampposts. They were carrying lampposts in the street. They were breaking windows. They were rioting. They were shoplifting. They were burning cars.
No way this actually happened. This can't be real. This can't be real. No chance.
Is literally all of this that happened in Philadelphia. And that's why like so many people compare Philly to Gotham. Because it's literally the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like win or lose, that city is being destroyed no matter what.
I wonder who Batman is in for Philadelphia.
Saquon.
Is he?
I'd say Saquon's probably the Batman.
And then Hurts can be Robin.
Hurts might be a bit too big for Robin, but yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, no, I think like Jalen Hurts probably established himself as definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and maybe going above Patrick Mahomes. There's an argument there, especially now that he's won the Super Bowl. But I don't know. I think both of them had a good overall seasons. And one quick stat I want to give up Barkley is I think in the regular season and the playoffs in the Super Bowl he got 2,504 running yards. I'm pretty sure, Matt, in total. So that's pretty good from him, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's pretty good because it breaks the record for rushing yards in a single season.
Yeah.
So massive kudos to Saquon Barkley. He left the Giants, who are the Philadelphia Eagles' like main rivals.
Yeah.
It's like Liverpool-Everton. That's the kind of rivalry.
Did he get like a bad reception from the Eagles then to begin with, maybe, or did he?
I don't think he got a bad reception because the whole situation with Barkley, right, is the Giants traded him in a free trade, so it's like free transfer for football terms for us.
Oh, okay.
So he went and the Eagles picked him up, and the Giants. I think there was a video of a Giants coach saying like, as long as he doesn't go to the Eagles, I don't care where he goes. And, he went to the Eagles, and then literally a year later, right, he's won the Super Bowl. So I think if you're a Giants fan, you might be a little cheesed off.
Yeah.
I know I would be a bit cheesed off that you sold your probably star player and he's won a Super Bowl instantly from leaving your team.
Can I tell you why I'm cheesed off?
Go on then.
I chose the wrong team to support, didn't I?
You did a little bit. You said
yeah.
the Ravens earlier.
Yeah,
in the year.
we had. If you've been watching the podcast for a while, right, we did the previous episode where it was between the Ravens and the Eagles, and I chose the wrong team, didn't I? I chose the Ravens. What's that about? Honestly, I didn't even think that the Eagles, right, would even get to the Super Bowl, let alone win it. But it's really frustrating. But maybe next season I might change it up. What do you think? Do you reckon I'm allowed to change it up?
I reckon it's the same with most sports, right? You can have your initial first pick team.
Yeah.
And then you can change it at least once.
Okay.
So I'd say yes, you can probably change it once, but that's just me.
I think it's all right because it's American sport. If it's like English sport, like football or anything like that, there's a bit more tribalism. There's a bit more stuff like that. You can't really change your football team, can you?
I'd say in the NFL there's a bit of tribalism as well.
No, we live in England. We live in England.
Especially Eagles fans.
I don't know any Americans. It's not going to come back on to bite me, is it?
I'm sure.
I wouldn't mind changing, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens next year.
Yeah.
I'm still praying the Rams get back to the Super Bowl, but that's just me. We nearly beat the Eagles this year, so you never know.
Change team.
Nah, the Rams are good.
Go to the Chiefs. No, you can be a Chiefs fan. He's looking at me. He's dead silent now.
Never ever be a Chiefs fan.
That. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, no, forget you ever said that. But another aspect of the Super Bowl that happened, right? Happens every Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the main reasons, right? Most UK fans would watch it. Obviously referencing the halftime show. Do we think it was good? Because I know it's received quite a lot of controversy on social media. Kendrick didn't actually do that well.
Okay.
It wasn't a Super Bowl performance, as you'd say.
Yeah.
It wasn't entertaining. But personally, I think it was good. But that's just my bias for Kendrick Lamar.
So before we get into this, right, I can sort of understand both reasons of the argument because, Kendrick Lamar is a superstar for those American fans, even for British fans as well. He's loved across the world. But I just think, some of the songs he performed probably were the wrong choice. He should have performed some of his older songs for me. I don't think his new songs lived up to the hype of a Super Bowl performance. Like, I know obviously he's got that mini beef with Drake, whatever is going on there. He's playing his song Not Like Us, but I don't think that was a good song to play there. Not really.
I think I disagree slightly. The whole thing with Kendrick, right, is he tells stories.
Yeah.
And he protests. Like he doesn't shy away from protesting when he thinks something's wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's what his whole performance was, because he was calling out the American government and all that.
Oh, okay.
Within his performance. So I think majority of the people there probably weren't smart enough to understand that.
I didn't understand that.
You didn't understand that, so
I did not know the Kendrick law. Okay, never mind.
But I think a lot of people were probably on the lines. I know Trump supporters were having a right go at him on Twitter. They were saying get rid of this guy. He's kind of, can't say that word on a podcast, but you get the idea. They were saying get rid of him. He's rubbish. But I think if you're a fan of Kendrick, or you just you're a smart individual, you would have understood the messaging behind it. No, and I think at the end of the day, yes, he could have probably played some of his more popular stuff, but I still think it was a good performance nonetheless. Okay.
No, I don't get me wrong. I don't disagree. I'm definitely a fan of Kendrick. It's just that I think as a whole performance by itself, I would have just said play some of the older songs, less controversial, make sure everybody in the stadium's having a good time, all that sort of stuff. And I don't know. I just think the thing that I found funny was him having Serena Williams dancing. That was pretty good, because obviously I think she dated Drake at one point. Who knows? But yeah, the whole little situation there was quite funny to me. Yeah, no,
Serena crip walking to Not Like Us was quite a funny thing to watch, I must admit.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best things that I've seen for a Super Bowl for a while. But that brings me to the question, Matt. What's been your favourite halftime show at a Super Bowl?
Easily 2022.
2022? Tell me about 2022.
The Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem.
Okay.
That was my first.
Okay.
The only reason I love it, right, that was the first Super Bowl I watched. And that's the Super Bowl that made me support the Rams. I know you'll say that's they won, that's why you picked them. But, I kind of like the Rams, even though we're not where we used to be. But I think that halftime performance was probably my favourite.
Always supporting super teams, aren't you? In every
I'm not
sport,
actually.
honestly.
I'm not actually.
You are.
I'm not a bandwagon. I do not follow the successful teams.
You jumped on the bandwagon because Rams won, didn't you? In 2021.
That's the only reason. Like,
See?
Yeah, but we're not
right
a historically successful team.
Okay, fine.
You bandwagoned on the Ravens. I wouldn't hear it.
No, I didn't. They wasn't winning this season.
Yeah, but you still went them because they were winning a lot.
I like the kit. And Lamar Jackson.
I like blue. Blue's my favourite colour. I like the Rams.
Okay, fair enough.
But no, 2022's halftime performance was my favourite. Either that or Rihanna's, which was the year
Rihanna's
after.
was good. I like the Weekend as well.
I don't think that was good.
No, that was all right. I like the Weekend one.
Yeah,
Are you a fan of the Weekend?
I don't mind him, but I just think out of all the performances.
No, okay. Have you listened to his new album?
I haven't, no.
Okay.
I haven't yet.
I need to listen to it. Apparently it's really good. What are your thoughts, Matt? I don't know. I think, right, the best one I've seen, probably The Weeknd, or what about that one in 2013 with Beyonce? Because there was like a massive blackout or something like that in the stadium.
Yeah, no, that happened. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
You should be funding your electricity a bit better than that to avoid a blackout. But that's just a weird one, something I won't understand. But I wasn't watching NFL then, so I wouldn't know. Yeah,
but anyways, getting back to the game itself, the Eagles won. They were brilliant.
Hopefully this win means Travis Kelce will retire. Taylor Swift will break up with him because she doesn't like losers.
Leave Taylor alone.
You got to include her every time you speak about the Chiefs. I'm just saying. You just got to.
We don't.
But Travis Kelce looks to be retiring. He'll go do his podcast adventures with his brother. I prefer it when he's on the podcast. I'll be honest, because he's actually funny and likable then. And then Mahomes,
So you do like him as a person?
As a person, as a player, no.
Come on, leave him out. Leave it out. But he's a good player.
That performance during the Super Bowl didn't really show that.
No, definitely not.
But hopefully this dynasty for the Chiefs is collapsing. Mahomes will not have anyone next year. That's my hope.
Yep.
And hopefully the Eagles can go on to win another one or another two. Or best case scenario, the Rams come back and 3-peat, and we be the first teams to 3-peat. But I don't see that happening either.
I wouldn't rule out the Chiefs just of yet, just because, right?
Not yet, no, obviously.
It's just the Super Bowl is a one-off game, okay? It's a final. It's a one-off game. Anybody could win it. You know what I mean? The Chiefs are still a fantastic team. Yes, there's been talk about Travis Kelce potentially retiring. I reckon he can still go for at least another 2 years at least. And then I don't think. I think it's a bit silly to rule him out just of yet.
No, that's probably fair, but at the end of the day, right?
Just a little bit biased from you, isn't it? Really?
It is a bit of bias. It is a bit of bias.
Fans, really.
It's a bit biased, but I think everyone has a bit of bias in sport. You always hate one team. Chiefs just happen to be the one everyone hates. And I'm sure if the Eagles went on to win as many as the Chiefs have, I'm sure they'd be just as hated. Everyone hates winners, and that's normally how it goes in sport.
Yeah, because I think everyone just wants to see a new winner every season, really, don't they? But then, sometimes it does just go a bit weird where you start to dominate. You get on a bit of momentum and you get back-to-back winners sometimes. That's just the way life goes, really, in that sort of sense, in terms of sports.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
But anyway, I think overall, that was an entertaining Super Bowl. I think it was probably the best case result we could have gotten. Eagles winning. Obviously, we would have liked to see Josh Allen in the Super Bowl, but I guarantee we'll be seeing him next year.
Oh yeah, that was so unlucky.
He'll be there next year. But end of the day, great Super Bowl, great result. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and all the other Eagles deserved it. And halftime performance I thought was great, but people will disagree because people love to argue. But yeah.
Just to be controversial, isn't it? Sometimes.
Same with everything, isn't it? But that's the end of this episode. Leave a like and subscribe, and obviously follow the social media channels because we post there regularly. And we'll see you in the next episode.